Now, again, settling in here, taking a few breaths, noticing if there's anything you'd like to adjust about your seat, and checking in with how you feel. Maybe starting with some of those physical sensations, noticing how your body's interacting with whatever's beneath you, whether it's a chair or a cushion. Noticing what it feels like to let your body be supported by whatever is there. Sometimes when we begin to tune into our bodies, we notice that the way we're sitting isn't actually that comfortable. So give yourself permission to adjust slightly, to find a space, a shape where you can be alert yet relaxed. Thinking of elongating through your spine, allowing your shoulders to soften, feeling your hands rest in your lap. And as you notice the different sensations in your physical body, try to approach them with curiosity. We aren't necessarily trying to change anything. The ability to notice is so powerful. And you can certainly notice wanting sensations to be different. And if there's an adjustment that can facilitate that, then of course you can take that adjustment. But allowing yourself to get to know, what does your meditating body feel like today? Becoming aware of the way your breath flows through your body, the rhythm of your natural breath as each inhale expands and each exhale softens. And throughout this meditation, perhaps you keep your eyes soft, looking around your room, or close them. There's no wrong way to be present here. Even having thoughts come and go, that is your brain just doing what it's meant to do, forcing your brain to be completely blank is an element of control. versus allowing your thoughts to slowly soften. And that's where some of our mindfulness focal points come into play, like noticing your breath, feeling your breath rise and fall. And if thoughts come to mind, returning to this focus on your breath. Hmm. I have some quotes and teachings that I'd like to shift into. And just a reminder that if at any point there are questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat. I am keeping an eye. Looks like we have two friends from Saskatchewan, Canada, Juanita and Jody. How fun! So, welcome. So, I talked about observing the thoughts, and we're not trying to suppress and make the mind be forcefully blank, but rather allowing the thoughts to soften on their own. And Pima Chodron has a quote: "You are the sky, everything else is just the weather." And oftentimes we'll associate with thoughts, but even more so emotions, feeling like, oh, now that this emotion is here, this just is my state moving forward. And taking time to acknowledge that you are experiencing emotions and that there is a you behind the emotions that was there before them, that will be there after them, and is still present throughout whatever it is you're experiencing. I love the metaphor of weather for noticing the emotions that come and go. Because where I am in Florida, the weather shifts very quickly. And so we know, okay, for now it's raining, but in like 10, 15 minutes, it won't be anymore. And if we can bring that element of trust in the process to our emotions, to be able to go, oh, right now I am experiencing sadness, I am experiencing anxiety, I am experiencing anger. But eventually that will shift. That is a completely different way to approach the way we experience the world. And Thich Nhat Hanh has a similar quote: Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Awareness of clouds does not hinder your being in the sky. This is often a technique I'll use when my mind is exceptionally busy with thoughts, thinking of them like clouds, and just taking that step back and watching the amazing quality of my mind to be able to go from thought to thought to thought. So let's take a few moments here. And what if you observed your thoughts like clouds in the sky, not telling them that they can't be here, but also not entertaining them, but allowing them to come and go. I will often meditate with a notepad next to me because that way, if anything that really does feel important bubbles up, I can jot it down and then allow it to drift away like the rest of the clouds. There's no need to hold any of that in the space. And as the surface level thoughts begin to make their way by, the ones that you've been aware of since starting this meditation, perhaps you start to find some deeper thoughts. Maybe they do begin to move more slowly. Maybe you're able to see the sky behind the thought. Whatever the experience is today, allowing that to be. In my own practice, there are days when my mind won't slow down, when there are just so many clouds going, and just continually taking this step back, allowing them to flow. And then, of course, there are other days when, as soon as I sit in my spot, I'm just able to drop into this meditation state. letting yourself experience whatever type of meditation is bubbling up for you today. One of the misconceptions about mindfulness is that it's only about noticing what is currently happening. Of course, that's an element, but we are doing this noticing from a space of non judgment, of acceptance, allowing yourself to be with whatever is bubbling up in your thoughts and your physical sensations. Earlier, I mentioned points of focus. That's a big part of this idea of mindfulness, of being present, finding these points of focus. We began this practice by noticing our physical body, by feeling the points of contact between our body and our chair or cushion. We noticed our breath, the rise and fall. I love using these internal focal points because you always have them with you. Of course, a crystal or an essential oil scent or a lovely image can be beautiful meditation tools and focal points. When you're out in the world, you always have your body and your breath. With that in mind, sometimes we use mantras and focal points. So earlier this week, I led a meditation repeating one of my favorite mantras: I am here, it is now. And if you tend to be someone who gets caught up a little bit in some of the swirling of the mind that I think many of us have experienced, hmm, this can be a good one to remind you: I am here, it is now. I find there's often this anxious part of me that's like, yeah, but what do I do with that? And taking that moment to soothe. Like, there's nothing to do. I am here. It is now. That mantra is also a really lovely segue into affirmations. So, affirmations are positive statements. And if you pick affirmations that don't feel true in any sense, then they don't do very much good because our body knows that it's not quite true. So I always encourage people to start with affirmations that feel mostly true with a bit of that positive stretch. And if you're working on cultivating that trueness, starting with something like, I am here, it is now, there's really nothing for your brain and body to disagree with. I'm going to offer up some affirmations that were speaking to me recently. You can feel free to repeat after me, or just let the words flow through you, whatever feels most helpful. Hmm. Today, I practice love, kindness, and acceptance. I stand behind my abilities and decisions. I am worthy just as I am. I welcome peace and happiness into my life. I am strong and resilient. I am capable of achieving great things. I am cultivating trust in myself. To notice if there's any of those that really feel just like a warm hug, keeping those with you throughout the day. And if there was one that you want the full wording of, put in the comments. You're like, what was the one about blah blah blah? Likewise, be sure to take note of any that felt a little difficult, maybe that had a little bit of activation behind them, and check in. What is it that made it feel a little uncomfortable? What needs that support from you right now? As you practice this mindful awareness of your body, you can often get very quick reads on whether something is working for you or not working for you. And that's where this compassionate curiosity comes up, allowing yourself to see whatever's bubbling up, knowing that it is okay, that you are strong, that you are resilient, that you are here and it is now. And I like to end these mindful mornings with some metta, some loving kindness. So, option to bring your palms together at your heart space. Hmm. And I invite you to really let these words wash over you. As these are my wishes for you. May you be held in compassion. May your pain, sorrows, and fears be eased. May you live with a peaceful heart. Hmm. Thank you so much for joining me for this